Are we live? Do it live. Welcome to another episode of Tangled Rights. I'm Justin W. Wilson, one of the hosts. I got another guy over here who's also another host.
Shane D. Cox.
Shout out.
Middle initials, sure. Esquire.
D stands for?
Dennis.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was something else.
My late grandpa's name. Yeah.
Huerte.
It is my late grandpa's name. This is
my grandpa's name was Bob.
Bob? Like
Bob.
B-O-B? Nothing,
Bob.
not Robert?
Nope, just Bob. And then my dad's name is Bobby. And then my son's name is Bobby.
Just Midwest things.
Hashtag Kansas things.
Just Midwest things, huh? Do you love my shirt, Justin? You haven't pointed it out yet. I have
Jesus Christ.
I have a cop shirt on that I got at a
You
golf
are
thing.
a thin blue line shill.
Yeah, and we had a client come in, and I had to tell her, listen, I am not.
Listen, I know it says defense attorney, but like,
This is a joke.
Also forget defendants. Just chop that out so that Corey, but leave this part in so that Mr. Cox knows that I'm respectful.
Yeah, got a funny, weird cop shirt going on today, and it's
I do kind of like the emoji part.
the donuts. Oh, the emoji.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you got kind of like that, you know.
Like a smirk.
You
like
don't
they
know
do.
your rights. Look,
Yeah,
I'm gonna trample them.
yeah.
This isn't legal advice. Really, it's probably not even good life advice. You should just turn off right now.
No,
It's better for everybody. No, keep watching. But we're not your attorneys. We'd love to be if you live in the state of Nevada or Kansas. Speaking of which, I got a bench trial scheduled June 6th in Chautauqua County.
Go do it.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Facts aren't great, but we're full sending. We're going.
All right. Well,
And it sucks. And this is another thing. You know how we talked about community policing on the last episode?
yes,
Like
I do.
the other alternative, or not the alternative, but the other side of that is when you grow up in a community, the victim is a buddy of mine. He used to kick my ass when I was a kid.
And you know his credibility.
Well, I've known him for a long time. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He got 4 of his fingers chopped off on his left hand. They reattached him. Got it caught in a printing press for a newspaper, the place that he worked. Anyway, so it's weird because I'm going to have to go in there and cross him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know him.
But you haven't seen him in a while.
I've seen him probably in the last 9 months. Last time I was in town, he was up there.
Okay.
I saw him at the gas station. He just said hi. I called him the other day. He was like, hey, bud, how's it going? Kind of tell me what happened here.
You're allowed to contact
And I
victims,
know him.
right? Because
So,
they're
I can
witnesses.
contact him.
I
If
mean,
he tells me not to call him, I won't call him again.
Yeah.
But like in the interim, it's like, hey, I represent this person. And I was honest up front. I was like, hey,
because they're not a party. I guess
No.
that's a clarification maybe we should make. They're not
Yeah.
a party.
victim isn't a party. They're just a witness. They're what we call a percipient witness, a fact witness.
A very,
Somebody-
very, very important witness.
the witness,
Yes.
all caps. And so I called him and got his take on things. And the case is stronger against my client's boyfriend. So it's a co-defendant situation. And they don't care about her as much. She's not as big of a turd as her boyfriend is.
Okay.
But they're wrapped into it. And so she's charged right now with giving a false statement to the
Oh,
Misto. Stupid.
misdemeanor in Kansas. Can that get up to a felony?
No.
Okay. And every state's different, so that's why I ask. I know.
Well, so Kansas is interesting. Like, so for example, here, if you try to run from the cops in a car, it's failure to stop on signal, right? Which is a felony. In Kansas, it's resisting, I believe is what it's called. It's been forever since I've been there. But it follows whatever the underlying charge is. For example,
so it could be.
could be a misdemeanor, or it could be a felony.
Oh,
So if
okay.
it's AWDW, assault with a deadly weapon, and then you resist, not necessarily with the deadly weapon,
It's
but
a separate felony
it's a
charge.
separate felony.
That is
It gets
weird.
boosted. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
What
though.
if you can't prove the underlying? Is it still a felony? Like, let's say they can't. The assault with the deadly weapon's bad.
I think
know,
it
it's
goes
just like
away.
a normal-
Just
Whatever you get convicted of, it's
my
like a
recollection
double.
is that it goes away.
Okay. Interesting. Because you could be resisting and not have the underlying charge.
Correct.
Huh.
It was a weird one.
All right. Well,
But yeah, so that's what's going on in Kansas.
And that's
things.
the intricacies of law and why you always need a local attorney when you're, doing something, especially in criminal. You want a local attorney who has a local presence,
Correct.
who has a local practice, who's there, who's been talking to prosecutors,
for a bunch of reasons, not just the intricate knowledge of the
the law,
specifics.
the relationships.
That's you can't put a price on that.
They say that lawyers can't be replaced by AI because AI can't go golfing with the judge.
But once it can, once they create a
Once it
robot
can.
that can golf, are you kidding me?
yeah, it's over.
Par 4, make it a par 1.
There you go. Okay.
I shot 18.
Oh, like Kim Jong Un, huh?
Perfect score.
Yeah. Wasn't he Haven't they announced that he had like a
Oh, I already talked
a
about
crazy
the engineer
score.
thing, right? They're killing the engineers. You saw that, right?
Korea?
Their flagship boat just sank. $500 million. It was a destroyer. They were putting it in, and it sank on like international live stream. And he immediately blamed his engineers. He was like, "This was a criminal act by the engineers." So there's probably a bunch of dead dudes that literally, it's just like the boat was so heavy when they put it in the water, it sank.
And it's tough to talk about North Korea because like nothing's public there, everything's so hidden. This is why our rights, like a public trial, like you see why it's so important.
And more importantly than the public trial, in my mind, is due process.
And I'm,
even though they're kind of together,
just
right?
the publicity of they don't have due process in North Korea, and they don't have nothing's public. Like there's no press. There's
right,
no,
but if you had to get rid of one, you're going to cut the public trial and keep the due process.
Sure,
If we're operating in like a fantasy land where we get to guarantee due process will always be done without the publicity.
Yeah, a lot of people just always talk bad on the American system, and I'm just like, wow. Well,
can I be a jerk right now?
Sure, go
They're
ahead.
uninformed.
I think,
because they don't know any better, which is just like, look, we live here, and if it's the only thing you've really experienced and you haven't bothered to, I don't know, read a book or get on the internet, and so you haven't consumed information, you might think this is the worst thing, right? But if you...
There's room for improvement,
oh,
right?
absolutely, 100%.
And I think that's what people get stuck on. When there's room for improvement, it's like, okay, well, then it can't be great. This is actually a horrible system. It's like, you should check out some of these other countries.
Right.
Like, you actually have the right to be put in front of a jury, like
not even on our, like farther away, like on another continent, Mexico.
Yeah.
Stuff happens down in Mexico where it's like, oh, you didn't have $500. Okay,
yeah.
Well, or if you did.
I mean, Mexico is the most developed of the Central American countries though, too, because there's, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua. Those are like,
but I was just saying, like,
rough.
Look, we can look even closer to home to have a very stark example that's very different. And then there's, even in developed countries, like the stuff that's going on in the UK. I read a deal last night about some Gaelic rapper, like an Irish, but his name is in Gaelic. It's got the weird, whatever. He was at a show back in November, and he held up a Hezbollah flag.
Okay.
And they're charging him with terrorism.
Like,
he was at his show, like performing, and he had a Hezbollah flag, which is that Iranian-backed terror group or whatever.
Okay.
They are classified internationally as a terrorist organization by most countries.
Is he a supporter or just?
I didn't get the context, but it didn't sound to me like he was saying, "Oh, go Hezbollah." Huh? Yeah.
Kneecap?
Yeah, kneecap.
I don't know them. This is.
I wonder if that's like a shout out to that stuff that the IRA did back in the day, where the IRA, whenever they were operating in Northern Ireland and like locals would screw with them or do something that was kind of like towards the British, they would shoot them back of the knee.
Is that the Irish Royal Army?
Irish Republican. IRA,
okay.
I think is what it is. Is that right? IRA is Irish Republican.
I don't know. That's why I ask.
Anyway, kneecapping is there's a really IRA, Irish Republican Army. It's there's a really, really good movie with that dude that was in Across the Universe and 21. The kid that played the hold on. I guarantee when you see this guy's face, you're gonna know exactly who it is. Jim Sturgis.
Okay.
This guy.
All right, that guy.
Yeah, he's in this movie, and it's about that time frame. Bro, they show like the IRA coming up to a guy who like stole in his community, and they're like, "Look, you can't do that," blah blah blah. And so they shoot him in the back of the knees with a .38. And then the rest of the movie, he's like hobbling around. It's terrible. Anyway, point being, no freedom of speech, right? You can't even have a flag over there. You're going to get charged with terrorism.
And I guess we weren't planning on talking about this, but let's talk about the misconception of the First Amendment and this yelling fire in a crowded theater. A lot of people say, hey, we think that you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, and that is incorrect, actually. A lot of people think that, but that is an incorrect application of law. You have a First Amendment right for, a lot of different things, except very, very, very limited circumstances. We talked about, conspiracy.
Right.
Like if you're planning a crime, like affirmatively planning a crime, or inciting, like actually inciting danger. Some say, oh, like this is on both sides of the political spectrum. oh, death to Nazis. Like that's a classic one that we're here about. It is fine to say death to Nazis. It is completely fine. Like the government can do nothing against you for that. Unless you're planning and saying, hey, like, let's make a plan to go and kill
a bunch
this
of
specific
people.
person. Yeah. You know, whether they're Nazi or not is a big fight.
But on the other side of that, to play devil's advocate, there also is, right? Like if we look at groups or organizations that everybody kind of universally hates, it seems like Nazis is sort of up there.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that that's evidenced by the fact that anytime someone is doing something, in politics especially, that people don't like, they refer to them as a Nazi. If they think it's like authoritarian or they're going to do something violent or they're like evil, you don't call them a democratic socialist, which is like what the Nazi party actually was. It was democratic socialist, whatever, DRP, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Call them a Nazi, right? Why? Because they're hated, they're vile, they're evil.
Yeah. That's a bad word. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think a lot of people would have an issue with that in and of itself. I think if you were to look at the application to Catholics, Mormons, right? Some other group that's, a little more ambiguous than Nazis, right? They're pretty evil, right? Sure. Catholic Church has had our scandals, but also Catholicism has done a lot of good things for people, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, there goes our sign. Careful what you say. Whoa,
God smite me.
He was about to say death to Catholics, and then the sign falls off.
I was going to say death to Catholics. Sheesh. I was going to say death to all but metal.
Sure, like death to any group. That's a First Amendment amended protected right.
There is actually a song by a band called Steel Panther. The song is Death to All But Metal. They're kind of like a spoof 80s hair band.
Yeah.
The idea is like
they played like residencies here. Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I went and saw them in 2018. Chef's kiss. So good.
Here in Vegas?
Yeah, it was at House of Blues. Yeah, they're so good. Anyway, so it's just interesting that like when you apply it though, I think that there probably would be a disparate result depending upon what group you were saying death to.
Yes. Yeah, and there's cannot be a government response, or maybe there is and it's not correct, and then correct. You have a way to sue based on that. But publicly, like just with relationships with people, what you say affects what's going to happen to you, what people think of you, and this doesn't apply to the private response either. Right. You can't say it on private property. So, correct. This is a segue into kind of the rights under the U.S. Constitution we talk about all the time. And then Alyssa, one of your friends, she sends...
shout out.
Shout out Alyssa. She sends some awesome stuff sometimes to our social accounts. And I got one for you this week, okay?
She didn't even tell me about this one. Normally when she sends something, she says, I got a good one for you.
She sends it to the TikTok account, which I don't know if she thinks that you run, but I run it.
Oh, I definitely don't have TikTok.
So this is about a guy in the Denver area named Kevin Bui, okay?
Bui.
Kevin was 15 or 16 at the time, and he got robbed, okay? He had his phone taken, his shoes taken, I think his wallet.
Took his shoes?
Just a few.
That's how you know it's serious.
A few different items, okay?
You will not be chasing us. Give me your fucking shoes.
For those of you, friggin' shoes.
Give me your freaking shoes.
For those of you with Find Friends, Find My, Apple's version of finding your items, whatever item that you have. Kevin had an iPad that could also track his phone, okay? So Kevin...
I don't think I like where this is going.
Got with his friends, tracked his phone.
I'm going to take my stuff to you.
To a house.
Cool.
And lit that house on fire. Okay.
If I can't have my phone, nobody can.
And then 3 people died in the home, or 3 or 4 people died, including a minor. And article came out just this week about this. This is not the interesting part. The interesting part will come soon.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Where's the twist then?
Wrong people, not the people that stole anything. Okay?
Oh.
Not the correct people at all.
Ooh.
This happened in 2020. It had remained unsolved for years. Okay?
What's the... Well, it's murder, so...
Murder, pretty serious. Pretty serious. Arson, pretty serious in its own, especially in an occupied structure. Him and his friends. The cops decided to take a different look at things, okay? And they said, hey, Google, will you tell us who searched this address in the week leading up to this murder, this burning? Okay. So they had to go back and forth a little bit. They went back and forth with Google a little
like
bit.
A subpoena or something?
A warrant. Like
right,
this is a reverse warrant, which warrants a subpoena, basically same thing. So they ended up narrowing it down to like 3 or 4 different people. And they found out that this Kevin guy had searched for this address like in the span of 12 hours, found how to get there, and then eventually, found them.
Sounds like you're cooked, homie.
Friends, everything. So his attorneys are trying to challenge this on a Fourth Amendment basis, because typically we think about the Fourth Amendment in this kind of direct approach, like a search on you, a search on your property, a search on your phone to see what you Google searched.
Right.
But this is a whole new like world of the Fourth Amendment, where they're kind of taking a reverse approach and finding on the other end, who made this search, who made the Google search. So this is, 2 searches I'm talking about here that are going to be confusing. So this is a whole new world that kind of is opening, because our devices are connected outside. Like just, there's nothing protected here when you're connecting to the internet, looking up directions.
Right.
Directions is what it was here.
Right. So initially, as you're talking about it, I'm trying to, have the wheels turn here.
The gears are running.
Well, my first thought is, okay, it's going to implicate the Fourth Amendment in some way. But then I thought about it a little bit harder, and it seems like it probably wouldn't actually, because it's not your server. And I don't know if you have a reasonable expectation of privacy when you're searching on something like the internet that Google or whoever, Apple, is holding.
And then let's talk about trash. You know what case I'm talking about? So
I mean, I know
you talked about
rules on picking through trash and stuff.
Reasonable expectation of privacy. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is the standard for where you cannot have a search or a seizure. Okay,
without probable cause, exigent circumstances, or a warrant.
Yes. So reasonable expectation of privacy. That's the standard, and what that means could mean something different to different people, but it only matters to 9 people, the Supreme Court justices of our United States.
Shout out.
So one of the big cases that got up to them is whether a person has reasonable expectation of privacy in their trash that they put out on the curb. So they determined that no, because you're putting that out to the public, anybody can go look through it.
Shane, on Friday night before the Saturday morning run, your trash is out in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
He's looking through it.
I'm looking through it. I mean, there's a guy.
If there's crimes, and if there is, he's calling the cops.
There's a guy that, comes down my street. We're Mondays where I'm at. So Sunday and then early morning Monday, he's going up and down the street to see if there's anything he can pick and resell. Sure. Right. And there's kind of been a determination that you have no reasonable expectation of privacy.
It's also not theft
in this public area. So it's not theft because it's something that you are giving up.
Right.
You are letting it go.
It's essentially, it's not literally, but it seems like it falls under the abandoned property line of thought. It's not literally abandoned property because it's still yours until the trash people take it, but you've essentially indicated that you're fine with it going away.
Right. So no reasonable REP, we shorten it REP all the time.
Yeah.
So I think of it as like, you are not keeping that just to you. You are asking the public knowledge out there, where is this person's house? But I mean, it's so similar. What if I had a map and I looked up a map? Like there is no like a personal map, like a printed out. If we remember these printed out maps, I used to
atlas,
like the
road atlas. It's the one where you could look at every state and it'll tell you.
Or I don't think a GPS sends information.
But here's the difference: if I'm looking at your GPS, your map, your phone, I'm acquiring the same information, but through a different source. It's your stuff. I have to get into that phone. I have to get into that map. I have to open it. Right. Whereas if I'm going through Google, I'm getting to the same result, but with a completely different channel.
Yeah. And
that's the distinction, I think.
And I think ultimately the analysis is a judge probably said, hey, it's reasonable to think a person who did search would be involved in a crime, although anybody could be searching that address too. Like that could probably be the person, but it's a different probable cause analysis because you're not like linking a specific person. You're just, I don't know. It's so,
that almost seems like
it's so weird.
Go into like those dragnet kind of things, like DUI checkpoints and stuff,
Which are legal.
right?
Which are legal.
So it's like a checkpoint for electronic information on Google servers, not related to any person, related to an incident. So because you're not filtering it through the individual, and like even then, like but they'll have warrants usually, right?
Yeah.
The warrant has a warrant, so that means that a neutral detached magistrate has approved it. So you're not getting into the Fourth Amendment stuff there anyway, because the judge said it was okay.
Well, and you could potentially, right? Still,
I mean, maybe you can challenge it, but like I think you got a limited amount of ground to stand on there.
So I think this might be one that we'll be able to talk about again.
And they just charged this fool?
This is very recent. Yeah, this is like actively happening, and that's why it hit the news this week.
Fucking crazy.
So
dude.
it's
Sorry, freaking crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what to think of it, and ultimately, it won't be my decision on whether it matters. It'll be the U.S. Supreme Court, right?
Does it matter to you? You can decide that for yourself. You don't have to.
I can. You're right. I don't know, because like we want people to solve crimes, right? Like a family died.
Am I the one who did the crime? Because if so, I do not want it solved. If anyone else did it, yes, solve it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, especially things like that, like murder. And
I guess this happened. It came back up in the news. He was sentenced to 60 years in prison already.
That's it?
Last year. Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Five people died in a fire,
and they weren't even the right people.
And 2 of them were young children. And
that's the part that does my head in. Like the kids is bad, but the fact that it wasn't even the right dude.
Well, and that was a conclusory statement in an article, and we know news articles aren't always accurate. But
no, they are, dude. The news has to be correct when they publish things.
I mean, he was convicted of it, right? So
jury of his peers, bro.
It doesn't matter if they were the right people or not. That was not a proportional response. But he was a minor at the time, and that he can't get life without the possibility of parole either. That's impossible. So, all right, I wanted to talk about grand jury indictments.
Yeah, me too.
Do you? Okay, what do you want to say about grand jury indictments?
I think it's kind of a silly process. I think that there are some procedural mechanisms that are not afforded to defendants that should be. I get the need for not having it be publicized, to the public, the way that a regular hearing is. It's on the board. Oh, hey, this is when Cox versus Wilson is happening, yada, yada, yada. I just don't like it that you'll tell me, oh, we're having the grand jury hearing on this day. Do you want to testify? If so, you can come, and your attorney can come. But if not, you're not allowed to come here. I don't like that. Seems unfair.
I can't think of any time we'd want our clients to testify at grand jury either.
Had one.
Yeah, very rare, and most of our cases don't go through grand jury here in Clark County. Like it's
like probably 90-10,
and it's usually they will start going through the other route, and then they'd have to dismiss for some reasons, and then they'll take it to grand jury.
Yeah, because the joke is you can indict a ham sandwich. That
is the question. That is the famous quote. But not all cases go through grand jury, just some. They talk about it on the news because I think it seems a little more interesting to have a grand jury, and it sounds like something is like, oh, that's not a regular jury. They're a grand jury, which a grand jury,
special, like big red cap. And
a grand jury, I would say, is less important than a real jury, like extremely less important. But it could potentially weed out cases. But
dude,
the rates,
I have never seen one not get bound over.
But we wouldn't know about it. Like, and you can have a grand jury happening on a case about you, and you don't even know it, right?
Yeah, there could be a grand jury returning an indictment right now for me.
Yeah, could be. Could be one for me.
There was one other thing about grand juries that I dislike. The fact that you can't be present, not even just to see things. The fact that it's so easy, it's basically a guarantee to get the indictment returned.
And what about the prosecutors not actually presenting exculpatory evidence?
That was it. Dude, there are so many times, and then you're left to determine.
They're supposed to. So, I guess we'll break down grand jury indictment because, I don't know if people know or have been. You get mailed out a letter to potentially be on a grand jury. You get paid, $40 a day.
And you're on it for what, 10 weeks?
Yeah, it's kind of a long contract. And the prosecution is there with their witnesses, and they present evidence, and you're supposed to say, is there probable cause? Is it just more likely than not that this crime was committed? And if so, if you approve, then the case gets opened and then could proceed to a trial. Okay. So that is kind of a layer just to clear out cases that aren't good. Usually prosecutors don't want to take bad cases anyway that are questionable. So they're going to bring cases that, have something, maybe not able to convict in a trial, but they present evidence that they want to present. It's uncontroverted. The defendant's not notified every time. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And then defense attorneys don't have a right to be there
unless their client's
testifying.
Or if they're invited.
And then if you testify there, that testimony can be used against you in a court of law. So it can be used against you at trial. And I would never want a client to testify twice because I've been with so many people that have had to testify twice. Sometimes that testimony just changes a little bit, and good attorneys can try and exploit that.
Even bad attorneys are going to exploit that.
Even bad attorneys could.
Because it's pretty simple. You're reading 2 transcripts.
And you say, why?
And if they're not substantially the same.
Why is your testimony different? And everyone thinks that they'd be an expert at testifying. Most people are not. They're horrible. They don't remember things. They think, I would have remembered that. You don't. And you would have gotten something wrong, and then you get exploited. And so it's a process that goes on behind closed doors. We were talking about publicity recently. So I bring this up because some people get so excited when an indictment comes back, and it's it doesn't mean much. In the news, it means something, but not everything. In the news recently, in the Bachelor world, I don't watch this, but my wife sent it to me, and I know, some of our listeners.
Bachelor world, you're talking that stupid show?
Yes, that stupid show. There was a guy named Clayton Echard. I don't know how you pronounce it. Nobody in this room knows.
Echard.
Yeah, nobody knows who this guy is.
It's French, dude.
So Clayton was accused of sex assault and impregnating this other girl who was in the Bachelor world, Bachelor universe. I don't know what we call it. Bachelor
reality
fans.
is the universe that we're in right now.
Yeah, but the Bachelor world is not part of that. It's a part of. So Laura Michelle Owens, she was indicted recently for fraud. So she's basically extorting people, telling them that, I got pregnant. You need to send me money for my abortion, Plan B, all this stuff. And so Clayton was one of the ones that pushed back on her and said, what is this? I know this isn't real. And so she came out really loud and made some public comments. So he posted recently within the last 2 weeks that she got indicted on these charges, and not indicted, but past indictment, had the indictment handed down. They usually say some of the terminology. So this is just a start to her case, and he took it as a huge victory. We won. It is a win, but it's not the win.
It's not the win, but it's really good procedurally, because then you're straight into next step is you
can have a trial within 2 weeks.
Arraignment, and you can, not 2 weeks, 60 days.
Here in Nevada, right?
Right. You can have a speedy trial, meaning you can get ready for felony trial right away. But the bigger thing is that you're skipping a bunch of procedural safeguards, right? You're skipping the ability for them to conduct their hearing and have an evidentiary grounds to get the evidence suppressed or what have you.
You can still try to suppress different evidence, but
sure. But how are you going to get it done?
There's a whole different. Well, you'd have to file a motion, right?
No, I understand that, but let's say you do a grand jury indictment.
You don't get to question the cops about anything.
Yeah,
right.
It's just what happened. Oh, this day I pulled him over. Okay, did you find anything when you pulled him over? Cocaine. Okay, cool. Any questions? Indicted.
Yep.
It's that simple. And then how am I going to know, as the defense attorney, that the guy said, "Hey, I don't consent to searches," or whatever? Insert thing here. Right? And that's where I was talking about, where it just gets a little bit hairy, I think, because some judge might say, well, it's not exculpatory.
You got to be on your game faster as a defense attorney,
yeah.
And you got to get up to speed with all the facts.
Yeah.
And sometimes clients have so much going on, criminal defendants, and hey, you're indicted, like you're ready to face trial now. It's like, what? I didn't even know this was going on.
Yep.
And now I'm ready to go to trial and have how many years of my life are they trying to seek?
Oh,
like, very serious. So, you got to move fast on those cases. You got one that's coming up for trial that got an indictment handed down, within the last few weeks. And now you got assigned it yesterday and it's ready to go to trial maybe within a month or two.
Yeah.
So as a criminal attorney, you got to be ready for these things. Like, you got to be on your game.
Get ready to file motions, file oppositions.
Yeah. So, and talk to the client in a clear headspace, because some other times you have time to develop a relationship where they open up to you and tell you everything really. But in a criminal case, it's a short amount of time. And hey, listen, we don't have time to build connection. Tell me everything now. Like, if you did this, tell me now.
Look, I know.
Tell me now so I know what they're going to say.
I know you don't trust me, but I need you to.
I know you're meeting me for the first time.
So if you could just trust me that I'm actually your friend.
You could tell me everything. What did you really do? It wasn't me. Like, let's know.
Where were you on the night of the 15th?
I know you were there.
With a light in your face.
I know you were there. Just tell me.
Where is she?
And then some people don't trust their defense attorneys as being part of the system.
That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to bring Christian Bale to come in and scream at them.
Play the video. Yeah.
No, in their face. Tied to a chair, knock them down. Where is she?
We'll put a VR headset on people,
No. Christian Bale's going to come.
Okay, Christian Bale will be here.
Yeah.
We are.
Marketing budget, $17 million. What are you talking about?
All right. I wanted to talk. We got some videos that I'd been sitting on for a while. Today's a great day to insert some of these videos. We have our favorite kind of people, sovereign citizens, who have these kind of ideas about government that are not really true.
We got a new sovereign citizen.
Yeah. So the first one we're going to watch is outside of Chicago. There's this channel, and I'll shout them out, Midwest Safety. Okay.
Nice.
They have a ton of cop videos. Okay. And some of them put cops in a bad light. Some of them put people being pulled over in a horrible light. So we're going to...
Wait a minute. So they're kind of down the middle?
Yeah.
They recognize that
videos.
Police make mistakes, and so do the people who the police are policing?
Yeah.
What?
I know. Well,
holy snap.
Just posting videos without editing them to clips.
Dude, that is one of my
fantastic
favorite
because
things that people do.
As a society, we want to react in a minute or just move our attention onto something else.
Right now.
So posting a whole 17-minute video, you're like, oh, that's long. But watching something that long, to really get everything that happens.
Dude, 17 minutes would be an eternity.
Yeah. So we'll give you guys a snippet because I know you want to hear us talk, and we want to talk about this case just briefly. Okay? What not to do with cops inserted here.
Keep the door closed. Roll the window down. Roll the window down.
Why not?
It's a traffic stop. Roll the window down.
Okay.
Close the car. Turn the car off.
Okay.
Put the car on. You can put the keys on the dash.
You can take it.
Thank you. My name's Officer. Where are you coming home from?
I'm coming home.
From where?
I don't answer questions.
From where?
I don't answer questions.
You don't want to answer questions?
Yeah.
Okay. I need your driver's license and insurance.
For what?
This is a traffic stop.
Yeah, for what?
I told you, for speed, the stop sign violation, and the no turn.
Can you prove it?
I'm not going to prove it right now. I need a driver's license and proof of insurance first.
I want you to prove it.
The proving part comes later. We have to first identify who you are.
What do you mean later?
Later.
Yeah, what
I need your driver's license and proof of insurance
what do you
first.
mean later?
Like I said, first the driver's license, then proof of insurance, and then in a few minutes I'll verify the speed.
What exactly do you mean it's coming later?
In a few minutes. After I get...
What does that to mean?
I don't know how to be any more specific than that.
No, you gotta be more specific than that.
I don't think I can give you any more specific than a few minutes after I ID you.
Can I step out of the vehicle?
I do not want you out of the car right now.
No, I don't have nothing. I mean...
That's fine. It's safer for both of us when you're in the car,
no,
okay?
I don't have guns.
Perfect.
Or some,
I'm not going to have you get out of the car until I have another officer here, okay?
Okay, just go on.
But before that officer comes...
supervisor.
I'm going to get him here too.
Yeah.
But I first need a driver's license. You don't want to give me one?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
'Cause
Sit tight. We're gonna be here a few
you can
minutes.
prove that I'm.
We're gonna do
whatever you
that.
say I'm doing.
What's that?
You said what I'm doing. I'm speeding or what?
Speeding. Didn't stop at a stop sign. Didn't use a turn signal.
I just want to tell you, I do not have any guns on this car
Good.
or on me.
No knives, no guns, no nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, perfect.
Just keep that in mind.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not dangerous. I respect you guys. I don't want any trouble, so
Well, that makes two of us. Okay.
yeah, so you can just know about me.
How you doing, man?
Hello,
Sergeant Burry, what can I do for you? I'm having my officer step over there, right? So I talk to you. Is that cool?
Can I step up?
Talk to you right here.
Just pull me over.
Okay. I'm sure he told you why, right?
Does
So that's his reason.
your officer want to administer any tests?
Oh, is that where it's headed?
Well, looks like it.
If there's anything else to do, I'm going to leave. Okay? All right, sir. Good luck to you.
So what we gonna do now?
He's going to tell you. It's not my job. It's up to him. I don't have any control of whatever he does.
Oh,
he can do whatever he wants to do with that. Okay?
Sir, the first thing we need is a driver's license, proof of insurance. Okay.
But I don't wanna give you this.
Well, you have to. It's required by the state of Illinois.
Yeah, but prove me that I'm wrong.
That comes after. I first need to
What do
identify
mean
you.
That comes after.
When you get stopped by the police, you're required to provide proof of insurance.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm not. You're required to prove me that I'm wrong.
That is inaccurate, but I will after once I ID you.
What do you mean after?
I would say the first thing that I need to do is figure out who you are. I need to make sure you have a valid driver's license.
I don't need to prove you who am I.
Sir, yes you do.
No, I'm not.
This is a traffic stop, is it not?
Yeah, but what is the reason for this traffic stop?
I've explained it now multiple times.
Yeah.
Speeding,
So
you didn't stop at a stop sign,
where's the
and you
proof
didn't make a
of that?
left turn.
Where is the proof of
It's
that?
all on camera.
Where is the camera? I want to see the camera.
I can't show you the camera right now. That comes
I
later.
can show you my documents.
You're required to show me the
Yeah,
documents.
but I'm not.
Okay, if you don't show me the documents, that's a different charge.
So this guy is going to get arrested because he's incredibly funny.
He is hilarious. Well, you know, he snaps back at him. A continuation of the video. A lot of these.
You're not
the
seeing
co-
my license thing.
The people pulled. This is what we don't want our clients to do. You are not the one that gets to make the demands. Okay, the cop does not have to show you any proof. Fight it later. Fight it later.
Mhm.
Come hire us. Come do it on your own. I don't care either way. Fight it later. You have to show your license when you're driving a vehicle.
If you get pulled over.
Despite what certain people
If you get pulled over,
believe. If you get pulled over, if you're ordered to, like, in a stop, even if it's unlawfully,
yeah, I would show it anyway.
present it. If you have an ID, you don't have to walk around with an ID. They ask you to ID yourself when you're walking and you don't
Nope.
have it.
And you haven't committed a crime? Nope.
You tell them, you know, no. Okay. You don't have to have it. Driving, you have to present your ID. You don't have to see their proof. They should identify what crime you committed, what traffic violation. They don't have to.
Correct.
They don't have to. And
Yeah.
so if they're just stopping people just to ask for their ID to see if they have a warrant, that is against the law and violates your Fourth Amendment right.
It does.
Okay. So they might not want to tell you. Some cops are more patient than others. Some will tell you, like this cop did, this is what I got on you. Speeding, you know,
No signal.
not signaling.
And then failing stop sign.
Right. And we don't have that here. We don't know if he did or not, whatever.
The other thing is that most people don't understand. They can't just show you the body cam. Right? Even if the cop was like, you know what, I'd show it to you. Here, look at it. All you're going to do is look at a cube that's recording something. You can't
Yeah.
look at it until they plug it into a
And
computer.
It takes a while to get this. They run it through. And I mean, you see the cop like texting wives sometimes, like texting kids, like they have background pictures on their phone is their personal phone that they're using.
Dude, why they got to have families
So
and stuff?
sometimes they blur that out
No.
in body cam footage that we get. We see this all blurred out. So it goes through a system and we don't typically get it like
Correct.
right then and there. So, which is fine. I think that's completely fair. Cops can be normal people too, and
Ooh.
text their spouse, text their significant other, whatever, like while they're working.
Just listen, officer, just don't be married. Just don't.
Maybe.
Just don't.
But if you never present a license, I see so many videos of people getting arrested. Just present the license
Well,
and
and-
get a ticket and then
And
be
then
free to
it's
drive.
The other thing, right? Like, how many times do you see these situations where it devolves and the cop says, look, if you just tell me who you are and I can verify that you're good, we're done here.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks, all right, like if that's the truth, it's better to have them screw with you a little bit than to have to get arrested, get booked, not get charged, and then bail out rather than just hand him the ID, be done with it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a point of pride, I guess, maybe, because the cop's wrong, but ego is not good.
Well, we talked to one recently, and he's like, I'm just going to put my ID through the window. And it's like, why? Like, what do you gain out of that?
Just being contrary.
Yeah. And that's what it is. Like,
well, the other thing
you have
is
to present it, which usually I'll see the word present. You have to present your license upon.
Everybody has this idea.
Means to
there's some magic like phrase they can use. It's going to make it, oh, well, got me, lawyered me out here in the street. You can go. And that's not how it's going to go. Even if you're right, 100%, you still get your butt beat. Mr. Cox, I'm getting better because of you. You're making me a better man. And then you get arrested, maybe tased, maybe pepper sprayed. So you're sitting in jail, eyes burning. And then they don't file charges. You get released. And you got to walk to the car that was impounded and pay $500 to get that out of the impound. Or rewind, hand them the ID, and shut up. It's up to you. Then
you have an excellent 1983 claim.
Potentially. I mean, but what are your damages again? It gets to the point where it's like, okay.
I mean, those have to be really good cases to want to pursue them.
I always want to pursue them, but man, are they hard.
Yeah. And the time, cost benefit analysis is really low. I got another one out of Chicago suburbs.
Dang.
Like lots of things happening.
You okay? You have your ID with you? Who hit you? Can you get out of the car? I know, buddy. Let's talk outside the car over here, okay? Can you exit the car so I can hear you? Turn it off, please. There you go. And come meet me back here.
But am I gonna get trouble for somebody hitting my...
Buddy, I can't even hear you. Could you just meet me back here? What's your first name?
Dakota.
Dakota, please come over here, okay?
No, I'm not going to because somebody hit my car.
And we'll talk about that. Please come out of the car.
I'm just saying, somebody hit my car.
Did you leave?
I'm just saying, I just left the golf course and somebody hit my... No,
where did that happen?
Not okay.
I'm taking your keys. Where did that happen?
That's not okay.
Where?
I would like to have my keys in my cup holder because that's not
That's
okay
not
for
happening.
you to take my car.
That's not happening. Step out the car, right, Dakota?
No, that's not okay. I'm saying that somebody hit my car.
Who are you on the phone with?
Taking my car.
Who are you on the phone with?
I'm on my phone with my mother because that's not okay for you to take my keys out of my car.
I'm sure your mother would want you to step out of the car right now and be cooperative.
That's not okay because you can ask her right now and she would say that's not okay for you to take my keys out of my car.
Dakota?
Cody, put the officer online, please.
Hi, how are you?
Son, hi. My son is saying his car got hit in the parking lot where he was golfing.
Ma'am, the likelihood of that happening is very low. There's heavy front end damage. His airbags went off. We have multiple people saying he rear-ended another car and then left the scene.
No, that's what he's saying.
Where is the other car?
The other cars got rear-ended and can't move. He drove several miles before he stopped. So we're going to deal with him and we'll keep you in the loop.
I need the other insurance, and then I need the other persons who they're contacting with.
Do you want to see the paramedics while they're here?
No, I do not.
Okay, just hold tight, Dakota.
No.
You can pull up your insurance.
Where you are... No,
we'll be back.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Have fun yet? Yeah. He's getting out.
Perfect. All right, let's go off the side of the road.
No. This is not okay. I asked you for the other person's number and the other person's
And we're working
insurance.
on it. That's not something that happens immediately.
But
Dakota, look at your car. Come here. Look at your car. Your airbags went off, dude. Why didn't you stop where this happened? Come here.
I understand where these are, But my understanding is why did the other person not stop when
What
this
happened? You're kind of talking in circles ever since I started talking with you.
I'm not talking.
Tell me
in
exactly
circle.
what happened and where it happened.
No, this is not what happened. My understanding is that I need the other person's insurance
What
and the
happened?
other person's name.
What happened?
In order for me to purse this into the insurance company,
Dakota?
because this is how it's going to go.
What happened? Describe the accident.
Describe the accident. I slammed on my brakes. This person slammed on the other brakes. This person slammed my other side, as you can see.
Where?
And yet,
Where?
they left.
Where did this happen?
Because you want to see what...
Where?
Okay, you want to describe where, but yet you can't find the other suspect that they're going to right now.
Where?
Where?
Where did this accident happen?
Okay, as you can tell me, sir, I have my GPS, as I tell you. And from 29 minutes away, I literally left the golf course not even 10 minutes
Do you know
ago.
what road the accident happened on?
Yes, it happened on North Main Street.
Okay, and
That's North Main
what
Street,
road was
which
it by?
Which is literally coming from here. As you can see, it clores up to McDonald's.
Okay. I'll be right back with you. Just try to stay by your car. Can you watch it for me? He appears highly intoxicated. All right, yeah, just touch base with me in a bit. All right, thanks, bye.
Yeah, these officers are telling me that I caused an accident when I rear-ended me and wanted to say that it's my fault, even though that they damaged my car. And
All right, that was a guy coming home from golf, you know, and some guys go
Some
to golf
golfers drink, don't they?
and get plastered and drink a lot.
Have you ever
or
seen
smoke
that
weed.
when you
Yeah,
golf?
Ton. Like
You've seen some guys drunk out there?
drinking for sure.
Does
Not-
it disgust you?
Not. Yeah, probably.
Shane? Wait. You drink with Shane?
I drink in his
Because if I don't drink, but if this fool goes to drink, I better be number one that he says, let's go
No.
get a shot.
No, I would never.
I got him a
If you were gonna though,
Did I get a Coke Zero?
if
I
you were
don't
gonna
really like
drink,
Coke
you
Zero.
wouldn't say, hey Justin, I've decided to have a beer.
I don't know. I like.
You piece of shit.
Sure. Okay. Whatever.
What
It doesn't
the
matter.
Fuck. Leave those in.
All right.
I'm offended.
So this guy wanted his mommy in the video. We'll have to add in the part where he asked for his mommy. If you,
Did he say mommy, Shane?
he said that he wanted his mom.
Okay then.
Okay.
What did he ask for?
I think he said mom.
Okay, so he asked for his mom, not his
Okay.
mommy. Don't be condescending.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was being a jerk there.
Daddy.
It's just funny of what not to do. If you happen to be DUI and get in a wreck,
Don't
You're
leave the
not-
scene.
don't leave the scene. That's
Don't
a
leave the
worse.
scene.
That's a worse crime. That's a.
Because it makes it so much worse.
His-
And then the judge is like, oh, well, I understand people make mistakes, but not only did you make a mistake, but then you doubled down and made a second mistake, which is even worse than the first mistake because it could result in someone dying.
Yes.
So now you're going to get 4 to 40.
Yes. I have a third video from the Chicago area that I
love
happened
it.
upon. And,
Hopefully this guy doesn't talk about his mother.
all right.
Hey, sir. Hello. Hey, how's it going? Okay. Officer Zelinsky, Chris Lake Police. Can you turn down the music a little bit? Okay, thank you. Do you have your driver's license and your insurance, please?
Why did you stop me?
I stopped you because you were swerving. Is there any reason why you're all over the road?
I ate him.
Okay.
I'm not on my
If what?
I'm not on my
I can't hear what you're saying. Thank you. Can you repeat yourself, sir? Can you repeat what you said?
I was on over the road.
You were all over the road.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I was next to you. Are you looking for your insurance?
Yeah.
Okay. Any alcohol or drugs tonight?
No.
Okay. You haven't drank any alcohol?
No.
Okay. Do you mind if I reach in your car? Is that okay?
Huh?
Can I reach inside the car? Is that okay?
No.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to keep my hand out here and you can hand the insurance to me like this. Because I still need to see the insurance. Can I reach inside the car to get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was eating, so I was up on my bed.
So I can understand that why you're eating, okay. But there's no reason to be swerving all over the road. Do you agree with me? Okay. All right. You're gonna stay with my partner for a second. I'm gonna walk around the side of you. Hey, can you tell me how many drinks you've had today?
I don't have any drinks.
Okay, so Evaristo. Okay, so this is the deal. I can smell I can smell. Yeah, do me a favor. Don't stop behind a police officer on route. Okay, so can you do me a favor and put the taco down? Okay, because we're having a conversation.
Right.
Okay. Can you please put the food down and speak with me? Okay. I'm gonna ask you one more time to be honest with me, okay? How much alcohol have you had tonight, Evaristo?
Nothing.
Okay, you're gonna lie to me?
No.
Okay. So this is the deal. You're not saying no. You're not saying no. Unlock your door. CCOM Chris Lake. 201.
No.
Copy a name. Sir?
Sir, we're just trying to do an investigation. No, you don't do investigation. You give me a ticket while you guys put me over and set. I just drive here and I stop to see my friend in Crystal Lake and I get some food.
Okay, you stopped to see your friend in Crystal Lake. What did you and your friend do?
Nothing.
How many drinks did you have with your friend?
Nothing. No drink.
Okay, then it shouldn't be a big deal having a conversation, right?
Well, you guys make it a big deal. You say I driving all over because I was open my bag and I tried to eat something.
And that can be an explanation, but will you look at me, sir? Will you look at me? I can see your eyes are glassy and they're red, okay? And I can smell alcohol.
No.
Why are you delaying this and obstructing our lawful orders right now?
Mr. You're making the situation worse. Will you stay with me for a second? Just keep coming. I pulled this guy over for swerving. He's saying he's coming from Elborn. I can smell alcohol on him. I asked him to get out of the car. He's refusing to get out of the car. That's where we're at right now. So what's going on?
Hey, sir.
Mr.
I'm going to have you step out the vehicle, okay?
No.
Hey, so look, this is going to go one or two ways.
No.
We've already given you verbal commands. Either you get out of the vehicle or I'm going to exit you. That's how this is working.
If
You're on body
no,
camera.
no.
You're on body camera, sir.
I don't care.
Sir, you were intoxicated.
No, I'm not.
At this point,
no.
We're giving you the choice to
No.
either get out of the car.
No.
Okay.
You don't.
No, you're
If
getting.
you guys
you are
touch
getting out
me,
of the car.
hey,
Let
no,
go.
no,
Let go.
no.
Let go.
If you guys touch me, you guys gonna get in trouble. Hey, my lawyer is coming.
We're trying to get him
Hey, no. My lawyer is coming.
Let go of
I
the
don't
seatbelt.
care.
Let go of the seatbelt.
No.
Sir, exit the vehicle.
Hey, wait.
Stop resisting.
Let me get my phone.
Okay.
Okay,
Get out of the car.
Hey, what is your problem?
We'll let you get out, sir.
Why?
He's just refusing to get out of the car.
I didn't do nothing. Just give me the
Get
ticket for
out
whatever
of
I
the
did.
car.
Just give me the ticket for whatever I did. Hey, if you guys hurt me,
Let go.
relax.
Let go.
No. Get out
Stop
of the car.
resisting. Get out of the car. Got him? Stop.
Now stand up, get on
Stop
your feet,
resisting.
sir. Stop with this whole thing.
Oh my God.
Sir, there's nothing wrong with you.
From 202.
Come on. Come on.
Hey, stop.
Stop resisting.
I'm not doing anything.
Stop.
I'm not doing
Turn
anything.
around. Turn it around. Put your hands behind your back.
You guys
Get
just,
on your
Put your
stomach.
hands behind your back.
We don't have control.
you guys just doing the stuff like the black people.
Stop.
Okay.
Put your hands behind your back. Put this hand behind your back now. Stop resisting. He's in custody. Roll him over. Roll over. Roll over.
All right. And those were three, I guess, somewhat similar examples. And I love adding in these videos because they just prompt these questions of, hey, you guys are talking about this stuff, but what's the real rub, you know? And Austin asked a question. He's saying his lawyer's coming. What is the lawyer going to do?
Nothing.
Justin, if you show up there,
get arrested?
Potentially, for obstructing. They're going to say, you get over there.
Oh, you're his lawyer? Cool. Go over there.
Tell him to invoke his right against self-incrimination.
Maybe you should inform him to stop resisting
because
so that he doesn't get more charges.
They have to go through the process and still arrest you and book you, and they're allowed to do that. And then what? Like, you're in the same place.
The other thing that's important is half the reason that it's important to invoke your right is you're not going to convince them. Once they've decided to do something, that's it. I think it's probably like 99.99999. You're not going to change the cop's mind. There is that outlier. I've seen someone in handcuffs and then something else happens. Somebody says something. Okay, changes the situation. Handcuffs come off. Guy gets out. But that's so rare.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
And I don't know if it's a real attorney or kind of like a soft-sit kind of training thing of that this guy has. It's his lawyer, or they hold themselves out as lawyers and they're not. So I don't know who this person is, but you have to pay us quite a bit of money to just be on standby to show up when you're pulled over because we're busy doing stuff. And
Turns out I have a life.
We battle this later.
And I like to eat lunch sometimes.
One of these three, and not swerve out of the lane because you can get a ticket for that. They're going to ticket you. They're going to ticket you. They're going to ticket you. You present your license. If you're DUI, like
if it's
the
just
last
swerving
two
for
we
Taco
watched,
Bell, you might get away with it.
Maybe.
Warning. Hey,
maybe.
If your Taco Bell is so distracting you can't maintain your lane, don't eat it while you're driving.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I'm
sir?
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But here's
Get out of the car right now.
Here's my license. Here's my insurance. I'm sorry, officer.
You have your registration? You know you have to have that piece of paper.
Yes, I do, officer. Here it is. Yeah.
Dumbest rule ever.
It's whatever.
The sticker's on the back of the truck, dummy.
Yeah, but people fake those all the time. It's whatever.
Okay, I can fake a sticker.
Present your license.
A sticker printer.
If you are ordered out of the car, exit the car. Okay. And then the first one, it's kind of the opposite. He was ordered to stay in the car and then had a problem.
And he kept wanting to get out.
You got to stay in the car if they order you to stay in the car. Got to get out of the car if they order you to get out of the car. And just be very specific. And sometimes the cops give different,
It's like that song.
It's kind of tough, but try and listen and ask questions and talk.
Put your left hand out. I guess we're doing the hokey pokey then, aren't we?
Yeah.
What's that long? Emery King said that? He's a kind of like one of those internet TikTok, before it was TikTok, like he would just comment on stuff. And he was talking about people getting their asses beat by the police. And he's like, I'm a 4-time felon. I've been to prison twice. I've never been beat up by the cops. Why? Because when they tell me to do something, I do it. If he says, put your left hand in, put your left hand out, put your right hand in, and shake it out all about, I guess we're doing the hokey pokey then, aren't we? I thought it was very fun. We should plug that video.
Our listener question is, should I refuse to sign a ticket? This is in line with our last three questions. Nevada does not require you to sign the tickets, but I watch these a lot of other states. Sign it. Okay. It's not an admission of guilt. It is acknowledging, so you don't challenge later saying, I wasn't really there and got this ticket. You sign for it. Okay. We have body cams, so this is kind of like not an important rule anymore. But if you refuse to sign it, that could be not complying, and you could get a separate charge for resisting.
Well,
so just sign it.
Beyond the resisting, at that point, if you don't sign it to accept it, then they can book you on it because it's a misdemeanor committed in their presence.
And this is state specific, but sign it. Just, I know it sucks, and like this is the thing that goes against what we feel most of the times. If you get pulled over, you have to comply. You can ask questions, you can be assertive, but these are three examples of just going a little too far. And don't be combative. You're not proving your innocence on the side of the road. You're never going to do that. You got to take it to court. You're not entitled to see their radar at that time. They're not going to show you their radar, you know? So you see, oh, was I really speeding? Like, you have to prove it to me right now. No, this goes to court. They don't try. Good thing they don't get to try it on the side of the road because they're against you, you know?
Be like Judge Dredd.
They are the cops are the prosecution. They become the prosecution.
I am the law.
They're on the other side. The judge is the neutral party in the middle. Okay? So fight it correctly. Present your license. Sign the traffic ticket if required in your state. Okay?
Just put the ego aside. Just put it aside. That will help most people in life generally.
Yeah.
But this situation, it's like they want to be right. They want to have the last word. You could probably get away with having the last word and feel good about yourself if that's what you need. But you definitely need to just sign the ticket and do the thing that's going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah. And go and fight it. If you have a great case, you can fight it.
Even if you have a bad case, but you want to fight it, that is your right.
Yeah.
You should do what you feel is necessary.
But keep it at a misdemeanor.
Keep it as a misdemeanor.
Don't make it into a felony by some states resisting, whatever. Assault on a police officer. Like, I think those will be felonies everywhere.
Battery on a protected person.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to another episode of Tangled Rights.
We appreciate
Keep your rights intact. Keep these tools for you on the side of the road, and then if there is something that you need to fight, call the best attorneys in town.
Call a couple of tools to fight for you.
Yep, exactly. Peace.
See ya.